there's not much of a community environment at my school, just from my perspective. Even if you go to a big school like Clemson or Alabama back in the States, it's a very communal thing. People here really seem to go about their own lives. It's not the same sense of a college experience, one would say, but I would say I knew what the politically correct environment would be like. So I was quiet for my first semester until one day I was told not to speak in a class due to my white privilege. And I went and posted on my Instagram something along the lines of, I understand the concept of white privilege, and statistically there's many reasons to point to it. However, shouldn't be used to silence students in academic spaces. And my phone just blew up with a lot of angry messages. I'm articulating that in a perhaps softer tone than I put it at the time. I think I was really resentful at that point in my life. And I would go to class and then come back and just dive into the culture war online. Like I said, I've been a long time IDW lurker, which I think speaks to something that really hit me on the Clubhouse call the other night is we know many of us have lost the ability to ponder. We're around great ideas at a moment's notice, but we become very good at regurgitating those ideas rather than thinking for ourselves. And I lost a lot of friends. Even a family member DM'd me something pretty nasty. Uh, and I remember having discourses with these people, and it was really like admit you're wrong, or you've lost your social standing kind of thing. And I was also slightly taken aback at how the university residents reminded me so much of high school cliques. I was expecting a lot of individuals, but I got a lot of very cliquey uh, connections. And so I was pretty withdrawn my first year. I did like my in-class experience for the most part, with the exception of a fine art course I took, where I made a poster of Jordan Peterson. I should preface this by saying that the assignment was to make a politically provocative poster, and it was Justin Trudeau putting his hand over Jordan Peterson's mouth. And this was the first time I really dived into this, and I remember walking to class like, this can't be that bad. And as soon as I stood up, really immediately dubbing down what my presentation was going to be, but nonetheless, the TA interrupted me during my presentation, spoke about how Jordan Peterson's a platform of hate. And I had already made it clear, I don't agree with him on a lot of issues. And I was failed on that assignment.
Wow.
And wanted to take, I was thinking that I could take action through the administration, but it might be futile and I might be putting a target on my back. So I ended up going to the prof and they bumped my grade up, but I didn't mention the fact that I had been, in essence, silenced. And when things really heated up was during George Floyd over the summer, where I posted something that was neither against or specifically pro BLM. It was a very kind message saying, I'm taking a step back from politics, I'm looking for peace. I know everyone has various reasons to be upset right now. I I believe I put an MLK quote in there. I had a photo of people protesting BLM, so it clearly was not against BLM, but I I that's when I was hit with a true torrent. Like, it wasn't pro enough, and I ended up deleting my accounts for most of the summer. Um, and a Vice blogger at our school, who's a cultural icon, uh, dispatched their army upon me, and I was getting just nasty messages from all over. And that's what I think's really upsetting about our generation as a whole is when you meet face to face with these people, because people know who I am, and so on and so forth. It's not as volatile as it is online, and we've really been socialized online, even outside of the political realm. Because I got on Instagram in seventh grade, and that's when it was still really pure. You know how people speak about the golden era of Facebook, like, oh, it was just my grandmother sharing photos, and now it's my grandmother ranting about QAnon or whatever it be.
Thank you for watching the Unity Now podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please comment below and follow along at unitynowpodcast.com.